Good morning. My name is Clifford Johnson. I'll be doing a persuasive speech this morning on should college athletes be paid to play while in school. The general purpose of this is to help you to understand why college athletes should not be paid to play. The specific purpose is by the end of my speech you'll have a better understanding and also be able to agree on why college athletes should not be paid to play while attending school. And this is one of those things that you hear all the time in conversations around the water cooler at work on should college athletes be paid to play or not. The NCAA, National Collegiate Athletic Association, brings in roughly $500 million a year in revenue. And the question is, should college athletes be getting a part of this? And I say no. And I'm going to bring this up to our three main topics. So three topics that we're going to discuss this today are identify the revenue brought in by the NCAA, figure out where that money goes or how much the schools actually spend, and then what do the students get out of this, or what is their real goal. Okay, like I said earlier, before I go to that, most of the information I got for this brief came from USA Today, ESPN.com, NCAA.org, and an article from InPrintMagazine.org. Okay, so let's begin by talking about what we said before. How much money does the NCAA make? I said before that they would bring in roughly $500 million a year in revenue. Here's how it breaks down. About 85% of them comes from TV deals and whatnot. So $184 million comes from the 28 football bowl games rather, as well as the NCAA basketball tournament. Currently, they're in the middle of an 11-year deal with CBS that's worth $545 million. 85% comes from TV deals, and the rest comes from other marketing, merchandise, and things like that. So now that we know where the money comes from, where does it actually go? According to NCAA.org, about 60% of its revenue every year goes out to Division I members, Division I schools. In 2009-2010, that total was about $433 million that went back to the schools, and those are for academic programs and things like that. Most of the money that some of the schools make available, they use for bringing back to be a contender, spending money for facilities, for the athletic teams, supplies, things like that. 40% of the money goes to sustain championships. So when you hear that you're trying to bring that championship team back together, that's where that 40% goes to. Going out, recruiting, scouting, getting those same players to come back instead of declaring themselves eligible for drafts. And 35 colleges have coaches that make about $1 million or more a year just to coach. NCAA is using about $750 million over 11 years to directly support athletes. Now what that means is about one school will make about $11.33 million available per student, $11.33 million available for the students to cover clothing, university travel, things of that nature. $10 million a year is going to cover insurance for catastrophic injuries. So when we talk about these athletes who get injured while they're playing, there's an insurance policy for them, so they're not coming out of their pocket. The school's actually paying for that. According to reports from 2004-2005, public universities spent about $600,000 per basketball player on their men's team a year. And in 2009-2010, those overall expenses were about $702 million. Alright? Now, let's get to the real topic of what we're here for. What is the real goal of being in school, and what do college athletes get? Well, according to NCAA.org, students receive grants and aids that are worth about $100,000 a year. Now, Dan Shanoff from ESPN.com says that about $120,000 is probably the better number. So somewhere between $100,000 and $120,000 a year is what they get in grants. Dan Cassavall from InPrint Magazine said that J.J. Redick, who used to play for Duke University, he got $31,000 per year in grants and things like that while he was in school. So basically, he didn't have to pay for college. That's where he got that money from. We must remember that student athletes are students first. Having said that, however, student athletes graduate at a higher rate than regular students do. Now, these numbers don't take into account for that the regular students, sometimes they fail out because of financial reasons. So these athletes are getting money, and that's why they're staying in. 55% of football players graduate with a degree. 38% of basketball players graduate with a degree. keep in mind that we all can't be like Kobe Bryant's or Kevin Garnett's or Reggie Bush's or Alex Rodriguez, these once-in-a-lifetime players that come around. We can't all be like that. So the main goal is to be in school, get your education, to be able to come out and do some great things. It's been argued that the college game is better than the professional game. And I'll submit to you that I think that the college game is better because these players are trying to get noticed, trying to pick up a contract to be in the pro leagues. If you look at it, look at the pro leagues. The last year of their contract, those players are playing extremely hard. Why? For the same reason the college players are doing it. They're trying to get noticed for their further career so they can pick up another contract and continue to stay with that team, if not a better team, for big money. 50% of NFL players have college degrees. 21% of NBA players have undergraduate degrees. 60% of the NBA players currently playing within 5 years, they will be broke. 78% of NFL players will go broke 2 years after retiring. Now, a lot of these numbers are coming from the fact that they don't have degrees, they don't have jobs, and divorce rates are bad investments. Okay? So, now that we've covered all these statistics and all these numbers, let's go back to the main points. We're identifying what money is brought in by the NCAA. We're also talking about how much schools spend, and we talked about what the real goal of college is, what the students actually get. The main goal of school is to graduate, pure and simple. At the end of every school year, some students receive their degree and go on and get big jobs in big business, or they try to get into the pros and get noticed and get those big contracts. Keep in mind that they put the hard work in and they're reaping their benefits after they graduate. Now, some students every year, we sit in front of the TV, sit in front of the internet, talk amongst ourselves to figure out who's going to declare themselves early for going to the draft or free agency or something like that. Now, those people are taking those once-in-a-lifetime shots to get noticed, to get to the big leagues, to get that big payoff. Okay? If they make it, that is their payoff. That is their goal. Keep in mind, it all starts in the school first. Graduate.